Hey, so um, this is me just doing a test and seeing if this even works. I can't go live yet, so this is gonna be basic channel stuff, the usual uploading, sharing, but I figured it was a good educational platform to come from. Now, Ty O'Brien, isn't what I would call an alias. It is a play that I chose years ago when I started this account, and I didn't want to be recognized for it because I had been a bit crazy back in my young years and liked reading a lot of stuff, and then I found a way to watch it. So when it asked me, I just went T.Y. O'Brien, which is in relation to the old Windscreens O'Brien's ads. Their punchline kick, "Thank you, O'Brien." So, I don't own the rights to that at all. And I didn't know that this would be my fallback channel, but I've used it for a long time, so it has a lot of information that you can probably try and trace through me and what I've looked at, how I found my way to where I am. And it's generally open for people to use all over the country. But now I'm making videos. I want people to also respect that this is my channel. Don't put foolish things up here that are going to shut my channel down. A lot's been going on, always. I'm known to be chaotic. I don't know why I haven't done this before now. Maybe my stage fright and social phobias that don't seem to be obvious when I do my work has made me a bit camera shy. I've always been very shy of film. I've never really done well on anything that I've had to do on a script, but I'd like to thank some people out there that I can't really name right now, and I hope that we will find a way to a better path. This channel is about everything. It can be from me and my odd ways of teaching myself how to play music in a profoundly professional way, apparently, through to cool stories about my journeys, and maybe not so cool ones that inspire you to get through hard days, and particularly about our country not having a very good education system, which, I don't know, over time, if you keep watching this channel, you're going to learn that the last grade I passed was year 8, and there's a lot to say why I shouldn't have a brain in my head that functionally speaks to you right now as a cognitive and intelligent person. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning in Australia on the east coast here, near Brisbane, and it's kind of a normal thing for me to have insomnia issues. I might not produce melatonin and other chemicals properly, which is reasons why I was put on certain medications as a child, because they believed other chemicals weren't, which probably led to other chemicals not doing so. But I turned out different, and a lot of people have asked me to write a book, and maybe I will if I get that far. I'd really like to, with some of my mentors that have got me here, that I also can't say the names of, but I'd like to thank for their support, even believing in someone with a story so profound. And sure, there might be some misinformations, but I have a lot of reasons, and I'm happy to talk about it to the entire world now. Because frankly, presently my mum and I are fighting over, I don't even know anymore. me trying to get a support apparently is a bad thing. So I'm calling out to those who have crossed paths with me and get interested in my story, because trying to watch it through some of the ways that I have on platforms just isn't like this. And so within that, I guess I just want to say thank you to anyone who does support this channel, which is TY. And I guess I have to say, Windscreens O'Brien, you rock. Thanks, and please don't sue me for accidentally making this a name. I have looked into trying to change it, and I don't really care to, because I think it's kind of cool. It gives me a bit of an avenue for a platform for harm reduction, not just in the normal like war on drugs style, but like just generally all around. I'm a smart kid, or was once. Now I'm a bit of a middle-aged woman, and I guess I still have a bit of a 20-year-old syndrome thing and a bit of a vigilante side. So don't cut me down for not always being like, fuck the system, fuck the police, but more like what I've said about myself and many others that are flawed in ways over years that we will not get better. So stop being so hard on ourselves and just get better at it. And I want to kind of make that like the rule that applies. I will point out that if I note any abuse whatsoever, all avenues of protection will be put in place. You'll be reported, you'll be blocked, and using a carrier service maliciously to do things that aren't nice, generally threatening behavior, violent, any of that trolling crap that people talk about, ghosting, phishing, misinformationing, and taking it into your own hands. I can't claim the rights to that. I don't claim the rights to what you do to your computers, your Android devices, whatever, iPads, whatever you've got as a gadget, devicey thing out there, and how you do your movements is entirely up to you. If you want to know what you can do, you can consult me through certain avenues, and all you need to do is like hit me up. There isn't any need to be a radical action in any way or emotionally minded about your decisions. Always think logically, guys. Always ask the right people for the right kind of advice and direction, and never just sit around and assume that you guys are right. There's a whole world of us out there facing changes every day, and I get the understanding that everyone I know that is really having a go, wherever you are, whether it's on a beach, in a prison, in a hospital, or somewhere in the government just trying to hold your place down and scared, or you're like me and you're just like a drifter who learns all the time naturally. I just had to leave school for weeks into year 10, so I've spent a lot of time sort of naturally studying, especially like social stuff, like being a performer, and significant variations of art. I've had the honor of working with some really, really profound people, and one person I'd like to thank for teaching me how to do art is this lady who worked in Silverwater Prison once, Christine Aurora. And I'd also like to thank the Northern Rivers people that I lived with and amongst when you were actually teaching me the good things, but even the awful things you did to me have kind of wisened me up to the real world and how bad it could get for people that aren't strong like I am or resilient. And I guess guess if I want people to stay interested in my channel, I should probably let this go now and see how it goes. But, this is all about me and who I am and what I am. Because, frankly, 20 years ago, if we had this, I would have been all over it. And I'm hoping that there's some people out there, like, I can throw thanks to soon and not just sort of, like, screw this whole thing up with babbling names and getting it wrong. Because this literally is my first ever time trying this out, so thanks everyone. Here's to doing stuff and things and not stuffing things. But yeah, things and stuff. I'm gonna do things and stuff, not stuff things. I think it's this thing I used to tell people. I hope you guys enjoy, and don't be afraid to hit subscribe and like. I want to see how many people and how far this goes, and if you want me to throw your name up there, I'd love to know about why, and I'd love to advocate for people who need to have their story heard, even if it doesn't get to go through our national commission's versions. So I know a lot of you have stories that aren't of our country, and that doesn't mean there isn't still a place for you somewhere, and this can be one. So I do identify as Indigenous and understand what it's like to be feeling quite alienated. I'm very confused sometimes about who I am, what I am, where I come from, what I should believe, and how much that should matter. But at the end of the day, guys, remember, we all bleed red. We all have feelings that can be hurt, and we all need to hand each other, like, every now and then too. And if it weren't for so many, oh my god, like, inspirational, amazing teachers that I've had, especially in the last 10 years, oh god, those that have just come out of nowhere and just shown me the way, particularly when it's just, like, show you guys a specific regard in how much I learned from watching you guys. And even though some of you and I don't even talk anymore and you might hate me, likely you're going to get curious about what's up and start chasing this around. All I ask is that you don't be nasty and respect everyone else. What happened between us is between us, and if we can keep the peace this long, we can do it for the rest of the time, you know. Unless it's really unnecessary and I'm somehow actually doing something that upsets you, and if in that case you report it and we'll fix that edit up so it's not a problem anymore, if not remove the problem altogether. But I do not give people like rights to speak on my behalf without like written consent first, as I'm not really entirely sure how many would be true. I have had a quite interesting affirmation lately about how much could be. Anyways, here's to the change that you want to see in this world and be in it. I wanted to change perspectives and bring people closer together. So now this is a different platform for different things, and you can consult me for help. It doesn't take much to ask for it, and you'd be surprised. So the worst thing I could say is actually, I'm sorry, I didn't know about that, but I'll get back to you if it's nothing malicious, nasty, or illegal for me to look into. And then there's nothing illegal about talking. We have a freedom of speech in our country. I don't know about yours, but I'm always happy to counsel those who need. Signing off. Have an awesome day, guys.